So do you believe in absolute truth, or do you believe it's relative?
I do.
Believe it's in absolute truth?
I do, but I think we all perceive things in our own way, because I mean, what you and I see is we have a model in our mind. We live in here. Everything we see is sensory information decoded. We don't see things the same way as other animals, insects, whatever see them. It's all how we decode them, and we build a model of our world. That's how optical illusions work. We make assumptions because we have evolved to survive in a world where we see things in medium sizes and medium speeds. I mean, if you look at quantum physics and the universe and everything, there are things that are so huge we can't even wrap our minds around.
Crazy.
Things that are so small we can't even wrap our minds around. I mean, you can talk about light years all you want, but can anyone really fathom what that is?
Right.
We're not evolved to.
Right.
We're evolved in Africa to deal with hunting. I mean, life is about survival and replication. My beliefs are based on biological evolution. We have evolved to survive and replicate. Our understanding, we're perfectly capable to do just that. When we start venturing beyond that, we start getting outside of our realm, and that's why things are so puzzling. Intelligence is one of the hardest things for any form of life to deal with, because then you start messing with things. I mean, modern medicine, government programs, and certain genes that should have been weeded out long ago are allowed to survive just because we preserve them. And in a way that's good, because it gives a lot more people a chance. But at the same time, we're kind of manipulating the natural order of things.
So do you think we don't have any business asking larger questions? Is that what you're saying?
No, I don't think so at all. I mean, I think it's good, but I think it's also, we kind of do it to ourselves. Maybe we don't understand the universe, but maybe we don't have to.
Yeah.
We're here to survive and replicate. That's why I'm at bar. I'm here to replicate.
Yeah.
But, seriously though, as far as, absolute truth and morality and everything, it was an interesting thing I read where they did a study. They took people from different parts of the world, different religions. They took people from islands
that have never seen other
had anything to do with Western civilization, Eastern civilization, any civilization, and they asked them moral questions. Like, if you're standing by a train track and there's a train coming and there's a man sitting on the train and there's 50 people on the train and the train's going to hit him and kill him, and you're there to and you could throw a switch that diverts the train, do you or don't you? The obvious answer is yes.
Right.
It gets more complicated, such as you can't throw the train, you can't throw the switch. Do you kill him? Do you kill them? I forget exactly how it played out, but the answers from all these different cultures, all these different religions were amazingly the same. So
there's a common thread.
Yeah. So morality seems to be more inbred, and if you look at the Old Testament, for example, the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah. You remember that story?
Yeah.
Where God sent the two angels to Lot's house, and the people of Sodom decided they wanted to
molest,
sodomize the angels. So what did he do? He sent his two virgin daughters out to the crowd instead.
Lot did.
Yes.
Right.
I mean, is that acceptable behavior by today's standards? No.
Right.
So I don't think we necessarily get our morality from the Bible. I think people just kind of work around those things. I mean, you talk to any minister and ask them, well, what's wrong with that? They say, oh, well, we're not under that law anymore. Well, if it was messed up now, I think it was messed up then. But, if you look at a colony of ants, they don't go to heaven, they don't go to hell. They help each other because that's how they survive and replicate. So I think we're just a more complex version of that, where you have a certain social responsibility, where you're decent to your fellow man because it helps the species advance. I mean, look what we've done. We've dominated the planet. We've done it by cooperating.
Yeah.
You put one man in the jungle against animals that are more powerful, this, that, and the other, and they're not going to survive. You put a group of them out there and give them a little bit of technology,
Yeah.
They work together and species advances. And
Right.
that's how we got where we are. There were other intelligent we're not the only human species that's ever been on this planet. There's been several. We're the ones that have survived. We're the only species. We see chimps and we see us and we say, oh, well, there can't be, there's no similarities there. But, I mean, look.
You're talking about like a missing link?
Well, yeah. I mean, look at the Neanderthals. They had paintings. They had tools. They were not the same species as us. But they had intelligence enough to draw things, to communicate with one another, and to make tools. So I mean, if you're, fundamentalist Christian or whatever, how do you explain that? What were they? Why are they extinct? Were they saved? Were they animals? If they were animals, why were they intelligent? So there's a lot of things that just don't add up on that side of things, but from just what I've seen, what I've studied, I think that evolutionary biology makes the most sense. And where did we come from? What are we doing here? Sometimes I think we ask questions that are more complex than the answer.
Yeah.
So,
cool.